Welcome to the January 19th, 2021 episode of Reactive Consciousness. Still sticking the landing. Our in-depth podcast about what happened this week in our lives. I'm your host, vysethebold, and this is...
Lotus Prince.
And Dracologist. Good evening.
Oh, hell yeah. We got the whole group going here.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
I miss
yeah.
Pyro.
Always glad to have DRC in the house here.
Pyro's, Pyro hasn't been on in a while, but he's got real-life stuff, as does Old Man Stompy.
Yeah, and
I do miss Stompy as well, and his, wrestling antics.
His wrestling stuff is great.
I like the banter from all of our hosts, and guests, but real life does get in the way, and eventually maybe even me. So Lotus will be here all alone.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up like a Zoom call with the webcam so I can see my own face, and I'll talk to myself.
And Lotus Prince.
My God, the face is mimicking my every movement, but horizontally flipped.
Lotus
and empty silence. Lotus and
blank. blank, Lotus and blank.
At some point, I have to make new title cards for you lads. So if you have any kind of input, what you want,
it's just my face. That's it.
Yeah. Well, we also enjoy having Phucker on quite a bit as well.
Yes.
So we need to have him on a little bit more often because but life's getting in the way with him too. So it's just one of those things. So we should definitely get going here because there's a lot of
good news this time around,
and it's good stuff. Yeah, it's juicy good stuff.
That's the thing. For once, we're not opening with shit. This is pretty great.
So first of all, we have to kind of pony up to the fact that MAGFest news happened as we were recording.
Yeah, the same night or the next day or something.
No, it was like an hour later. We were done doing CoreCon, and
that's what it was. Okay,
it had showed up. Yeah. So after recording, so they canceled their online event because lo and behold, people don't want to be associated with a bunch of psychopaths. So
if you went to their Twitter and you saw the post we're gonna have to cancel the event because of unfortunate circumstances, blah 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 blah, and almost every single reply was well, yeah,
what do you
you fucked everyone and now they don't like you, so your entire staff up and left. No shit, you don't have an event.
A lot of these people are just doing it because they love you, and they're not going to put up with abuse for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
I mean, people put up with abuse, when they're being paid because they have to.
I was actually just going to mention, you would know better than anybody. People work at GameStop because they're passionate, but they take abuse and low pay, but it's pay?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing they ever did, the greatest con they ever sold was that hey, you could be in something you love, but you're gonna end up hating it and everybody who
it's just a standard retail job where you're selling products. You're not playing the games, and you can only talk about the games if you bought them on your own time anyway.
And the vast majority of the customers are not the kind you want to talk to.
That's true too.
They're just annoying people that you don't want to have to.
Yeah, they're jackasses or parents who don't know what games are. They're do you know what my kid would like? Exactly. And that's an actual conversation, but it's not going to be
Mario for PS4.
No, not even that. Even if it's not something absurd, even if it's what game would my kid like? Oh, he'd probably like this, but that's still not going to be the kind of conversation you thought you'd be having.
Well, back in the day, we used to take cash trades in for DVDs. So we basically were a pawn shop for the low income housing,
DVDs
within
there.
walking distance. So I literally was basically running a pawn shop when I was there.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a shit post that's been memed for a little bit about how GameStop is better than a bank because they don't fuck you with interest costs. You could basically just put up your you basically just pre-order games, so you're depositing your money at a GameStop and then cancel your pre-order if you need it back, and it's more reliable than an actual bank. And the people at the company might not like you, but they don't get paid nearly enough to give a shit.
I mean, That's just really stupid, though.
It's stupid, but it's funny.
It's not. It's not FDIC insured. Like if that company goes belly up, like all your money's gone.
Yeah, this is not the year to try that plan. But
So anyway, but yeah, right after that happened, you linked me to this news. Go for it, Lotus.
yeah, I mean, there was another post about this was only like a day or two ago as
crazy,
of the time
yeah.
we're recording, but the majority of the board of directors, or maybe it was the board, resigned. There were people,
The entire board, yeah.
okay, because there were people throwing around that I forgot the name, but some problematic person is still there, but this is like a huge step in the right direction.
Well, yeah. Let's hope that the entire thing doesn't like disappear. That's also like a possibility.
Yeah, because MAGFest went for specifically the year 2021 to being online only and then being canceled because everybody fucking left. So
I mean,
we'll see if they recover.
Let's face it, there might be like a spiritual successor that some of the old people start off on their own, and
yeah, MagCon, so everyone could call it a con and people could stop being pretentious about how actually it's a festival.
Oh, fuck
off you.
It's all the same shit. But what they could do is
nerds.
they
Yeah,
could
pretty
build
much.
it up. They could build it from the ground up, and that way, first of all, it won't nearly be as big of a shit show as it is, and like as difficult to get a fucking room.
That really
days.
did get worse and worse. Although I gotta say, the last time I went, like when we went in 2020,
we had a decent situation. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that was the first time I'd ever been in like a different hotel that was. Well, I've been in a different hotel, but that was the first time I'd ever been in a place where you had to drive to get to the venue. I was always afraid, like, well, what if I don't get a hotel that's right there? Like, I can't just walk freely as I please. But like, I'm really not going in and out of the con constantly. And like, if I'm leaving, it's to go to a nearby eatery, and then I could walk right back in. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
it really
going...
wasn't bad last year.
Yeah, I'm not
really
going back to
bad.
the hotel constantly. So like, it was way easier to get the room, way cheaper, and like when you're done.
And we had a good arrangement too. We had a good group of people in our room.
Yeah,
this was my wife and you.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was just the two of us.
Oh yeah, no, my wife wasn't even there. You're right.
Like that was like because she had work or something.
Yeah,
but like another bonus, and this is more of a me thing because I get neurotic. But on the Sunday, I'm like I've had my fill. I'm ready to leave.
Yeah, me too.
And
me too.
With a hotel that's like driving distance from the actual event, there's no temptation like let's just run back in there. It's like, let's just go.
No,
I don't have to drive there and pay for another day's parking pass.
Yeah, it's fucking done.
Just get out, and you can get home like at a reasonable hour. And in fact, we discovered if we're not going on the Sunday and we're at a faraway hotel, we could theoretically leave Saturday evening.
Yeah,
save a hotel night's cost. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Well, Saturday night tends to be like one of the most epic times. I mean, especially like if you go to a lot of the music. A lot of the music stuff, like the best stuff, is on Saturday night. So
that's true. I'm like I personally do not do that, so like it wouldn't affect me, but like it does make sense.
Yeah, like their big music showcase happens that night.
Yeah, they go out with a bang.
Yeah, and it's really pretty epic. Definitely watch the recordings of that. It's really cool. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, there's some kind of life to MAGFest without the abuse.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for. Moving on from that, this was really big news. Disney announced that Lucasfilm Games will now be the successor to the arrangement they have currently with EA. And before that, of course, we had LucasArts. So Lucasfilm Games will be a something that is managed, but like branches out with multiple partners. It's not just EA, for instance. So they are dumping their exclusivity deal with Electronic Arts, which is a big deal, and also a good thing. I mean, with EA, they made two really good games. I would say Fallen Order was quite good, and Squadrons. People are liking Squadrons.
Fallen Order was like an apology after the shit show that was Battlefront 2.
Yeah, Battlefront 2 was a really mishandled.
Yeah.
really, 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 really mishandled. So
Turns out if you don't sabotage your game, it's actually pretty good.
yeah, and you know what? They learned that like the two subsequent games were really well received. After that, like Squadrons and Fallen Order didn't have a whole
Like,
bunch of bullshit associated with them, and lo and behold, people liked them. So
a couple of times you punch someone in the gut, they just kind of realize they are why they are. It's just, maybe if they stop being assholes, they might start doing something positive for a change.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I mean, the EA is at its best when it just makes a fucking good single player game that doesn't have any bullshit associated with it. Yep. Like the early Dead Space games, like the Dead Space 1 and 2. Mirror's Edge.
Speaking of Dead Space, there's supposed to be like some of the devs from Dead Space are making a new game on their own.
Ooh, and that's kind of a successor to System Shock in a way, right?
Dead Space 1 was going to be System Shock 3, but then it wasn't, so it was instead an over-the-shoulder remake of System Shock 2. So System Shock 2 has been made 3 times now.
I think I said people in condom rather than people in condom. Common.
I actually missed that, but didn't that time.
Freud. That's so funny. And I messed up again as I was saying it. But yeah, so you could call me out on that. I could say the date correctly, which is, a common mistake, but I'll say...
Which is a condom mistake. I mean,
fuck!
A Freudian slip is when you mean to say one thing, but you say your mother.
Nice.
You hadn't heard that before?
No, I never heard that one.
Oh.
Yeah. But, along with that news is an announcement of a brand new open world Ubisoft game, I assume with, similar trappings to Assassin's Creed or
yeah, I was going to say, so I don't care.
Well, yeah, but...
like another one Ubisoft, really?
Yeah.
I couldn't guess.
Like they're not bad games, I just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Far Cry 3 was really, really fucking good. I really like Far Cry 3.
Honestly, this is you have good games, you have bad games, and you have bland games. And
yeah.
They're not good, they're not bad, but they are their own kind of how you look at it type of category.
Yeah, but I think with Star Wars, I think most people are expecting, kind of the property to be pasted on top of some other type of template. Nobody's really expecting them
to have to
come up with something
gather the
brand
fragments
new.
of what was left from BioWare and ask them that would you kindly make a new KOTOR kind of
like
game.
a KOTOR 3 or whatever.
Something similar.
I mean, we had Mass Effect for a while, but unfortunately...
Yeah, I was going to say Star Wars Mass Effect where everybody fucks everybody.
Oh, that would be amazing. But you have to say I know instead of I love you.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah,
do you promise to know each other in sickness and in health?
Maybe they'll actually reveal a toilet for the Star Wars universe, But
they already did. It's called Battlefront 2.
Ooh, it's called the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. It's sad because Battlefront 2 has that's like a legitimately good game. It's just sabotaged with microtransactions.
Well, it became a good game after they fucked it so bad.
Yeah, the core gameplay was always good. It's just that they made you hate the game so much that you'd rather pay to skip playing it.
It's like pulling teeth. Yeah,
that's always a thing now, isn't it?
Yep.
Here's a game. Would you like to pay money to not play it?
Well, microtransactions were always for convenience, but Battlefront 2 made it so you had to grind for 30 hours to unlock one character, and there's 1,000 characters. Nobody is doing that.
That's not the way to do that kind of thing. Really.
The part where they said I think it was that that the thing you got were from the random loot chest were upgrades, so you could actually chance to get you could pay to win yourself in a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So that's a no-no.
Yep.
Yeah. Moving on from that, Nintendo had a really big announcement. I mean, this had already been revealed, but they didn't reveal the nature of it.
Yeah.
So Super Mario 3D World has an additional mode called Bowser's Fury, and people just kind of figured it was just kind of like an expansion or like extra levels. But apparently it's basically its own game. It's an open world Mario game where you're wearing the cat suit during the entire time.
Yeah, Cat Mario is back.
Well, then you read it wrong. It was Bowser's furry.
Yeah, I actually said that. I made that joke
Yeah.
on Twitter. One person liked it.
Yeah, I did it on like a Discord group somewhere.
But yeah, apparently like it looks really really neat. They don't really to have kind of like almost like a Metroidvania-esque kind of adventure with just the cat suit. So that's really neat, and it gives you the incentive, of course, to buy the game again if you have the Wii U version or whatever. But the Super Mario 3D World is like one of the best Mario games. It's really really good, and that's
that is a solid title. Like even I never really got into Mario games, but like
this one's really good.
I don't own that one. I played it for a bit, but it was fun.
Honestly, I watched the trailer and the last shot made me think like Akuma Bowser versus Ozaru Mario.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It looks great. And moving on from that, because we have just so much to talk about. Scott Pilgrim versus the World Complete Edition has become Limited Run Games' biggest success and it did so in only 3 hours.
Yeah, people have been asking for this game for years. And they finally delivered because it was
I'm glad that it paid off for them because I'm sure they went through hell.
Especially because the game hasn't been available digitally since the PS3 360. Like it only just came back, so like people wanted Limited Run Games to do it to bring it back at all. But now they timed it around when the game released, so people were flipping out about it.
Yeah, and it's never had a physical release, so like you can't even buy like the old.
Yeah, if you didn't buy it back in the day, then too bad. Same goes for those Konami arcade game re-releases, like X-Men, The Simpsons. Like that was your chance.
Sure, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one when that was out.
That's right.
But this is really amazing. It's a really great game, and of course it deserves it. It has wonderful art and some of the best soundtrack that I've ever heard in a video game. And speaking of, they revealed that we're coming up with a brand new edition of the vinyl soundtrack.
Yeah,
which is really really great because I have the original pressing on vinyl, which was probably worth something because it wasn't back when vinyls were popular yet. So like I got it on vinyl when it wasn't nearly as popular, and I'm sure it was like a limited thing. But this one has more content. It has 2 records. It's 2 records worth of content. So they are including unreleased content and extra songs and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I ended up pre-ordering a regular version of the game because like honestly, tchotchkes and stuff, I could do without it. I spent a lot of money on tchotchkes over the years, and I think I've become more Spartan with what I want out of these things. Even though this is a game that I really really love. But
I went with the classic for the CD soundtrack.
Oh well, that's totally reasonable.
It still comes with some tchotchkes though, and I'm like, fine.
I would never go for like the big one. But
yeah, that's cool as shit, but not for me.
But I really could not help myself with the a more complete version of the vinyl, and also I got a T-shirt with it because you can get a bundle with a T-shirt. So
yeah, it's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's like an Anamanaguchi Scott Pilgrim T-shirt. So I was really happy about that. Moving on from that, and they also did Sheer and the Wanderer around that same time, and I ended up getting that. So like I really spent some money at Limited Run Games this week. It was a good week. So the next thing is Bloodstained is still getting those awesome updates. So we got Classic Mode finally, which is really cool.
Yeah, where Miriam has the Simon walk. It's hilarious.
What was that, Dracologist?
What does Classic mean?
Like it plays like Castlevania. Like,
yeah, it plays like
Nintendo Castlevania, where you have that that marching walk, like Simon Belmont.
Yeah, and I think she has Richter's moveset, basically.
Also,
nice.
you don't. It's not a like open world exploration. It's more like a stage like.
Correct.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah, and then they have a Kingdom crossover, which I didn't look up what this was. I'm not sure what Kingdom. Bloodstained Kingdom crossover.
I'm still waiting for the game to be fucking finished so I could finally start playing it. Like every time there's an update, I'm like, well, guess I'll wait some more.
Did they add the Samurai's mode? What's his name?
Oh, Zangetsu?
Yeah, Zangetsu, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just waiting for them to say that it's version 2.0 so I could finally start fucking playing it.
Well, it is fantastic. I really, really loved it.
Yeah, no doubt. Can't wait for it to be finished. Like, it's driving me crazy.
So, they're merging with Kingdom, Two Crowns, and Bloodstained. So, Kingdom crossover includes a new area that...
Kingdom to crap.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I've never heard of this game. Kingdom, Two Crowns.
An odd choice for a crossover.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It must be something from the same publisher.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a side-scrolling micro-strategy game. Never heard of it.
Sure, why not?
But anyway, yeah.
Oh I remember this game.
Yeah.
It's
so,
sort of a tower defense. Defense and what is it called? Village, city something simulator. City management. Well,
moving on from that, in a similar kind of vein, Axiom Verge got a new mode.
This is like the first. Yeah, isn't this like the first like free DLC update it's had in like years? Just out of nowhere.
It wasn't announced either. I don't think. It's a randomizer mode for speedrunners.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Cool.
Like, what does it randomize?
Randomizes, I think, the layouts of the map. So I don't know. I'm sure it has some contingencies in there, so you don't get stuck.
I do remember that it does have an de-randomizer for speedrunners. Like it removes that. Like speedrunner mode originally removed random events, not events, like random behavior for certain enemies.
Oh sure, yeah. So you can learn how the game works. So you can get that perfect playthrough.
Yes, and removes cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I think that's really cool, especially Metroidvanias are like the premier speedrunning genre. So this is like it basically all started with Super Metroid, so and Zelda games. So this is really really cool. Moving on from that, this is kind of like in the rumor territory kind of thing, but Square-Enix has registered in Japan copyrights for Ever Crisis, The First Soldier, and Shinra, the Shinra logo. So a lot of people are speculating that they're going to do some kind of re-release or like a remastering of Crisis Core, which desperately needs to be done. Because,
it's been locked to the PSP.
Not only that, but it's locked to UMD. You can't buy it digitally.
It's super locked to the PSP.
Game, right?
Yeah. You couldn't even play it on your Vita unless you pirated it.
Yeah.
This is super interesting and a good game too. It's a well-regarded game even still, and nobody wants to go back and play it on the PSP. I mean, come on. As good as much as I liked my Vita back in the day, I mean, the Switch is its replacement in almost every way, and most of the games there are plenty of PSP games that will probably never leave that platform, unfortunately. I mean, we did get a lot of the big games like the updated versions of Disgaea, the Disgaea games. We got the Prinny games, but there's still a whole bunch of games on there that we'll probably never see the light of day.
Metal Gear Acid.
Yeah, I mean Metal Gear Acid 2. What the other Metal Gear games? Was it Portable Ops? And
that was at least downloadable on the Vita, but it's still kind of stuck.
Yeah, but I mean like on an actual like something else where you could play it, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
This is why you should never put your the games into one basket, or I mean, in the platform, because
yeah. Well, unfortunately, a lot of experimental games kind of happened on the PSP because like it was very much like a big hit in Japan, so we only got like a fraction of the cool stuff that came out on there. I mean, yeah, Valkyria Chronicles 2 and 3 came out on that system. We still don't have updated versions of those. We never got them. We never got 3 in English. Yeah, we never.
They're gonna make an update for the PSP that will be good for calling cats.
I just hope I wish they had allowed you to play PSP games on your just allowed you to play them on the PS4 or the PS3.
Yeah, for real.
Like why not? So that's a big pain in the ass. But but I this is a really good step in the right direction. I mean, they already ported one of the other biggest titles, which was Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was probably one of the biggest games, best games on the PSP that hadn't left it. So that of course has been ported to everything under the sun at this point. So that's good. And another thing, there is a big Resident Evil showcase going to happen on January 21st this week. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. They're going to be showing off a trailer for Village, which is Resident Evil 8.
I believe it's called 8 Age.
Oh, jeez. Get out of here.
Did you see the memes?
Oh yeah, well there are vampires in Resident Evil now.
Werewolves and vampires, and there is this massive lady, and
a really tall, busty vampire lady.
Is this going to be one of those bullshit things where it's like, oh no, Resident Evil never had zombies; they're just infected people with the T-virus?
Just vampires.
Yeah. Is it going to be like, oh, they're not actually vampires; they just demonstrate every single symptom of vampirism?
Have they said the Z word in Resident Evil?
Resident Evil 0.
They said zombie.
I want to say 0 when one of your teammates gets thrown through the window of the train. He's just like, oh, there's all sorts of attacks by zombies and monsters, and Rebecca's like, zombies and monster, but I think that might have been a slip-up, because, in every other game I've played, they go out of their way not to use that word.
Yeah, they don't label them. And they don't start labeling them until 4, which, they're different in 4. They're the Plagas, right?
Well, the Plagas is the name of, the creature that lives inside them.
But they have a different name, the people.
They do, but it's already a word. They're ganados, but that means cattle. Yeah. It's
that's right.
It's like a derogatory term for zombies you can basically control. they're mine.
But they rarely they're kind of picky about using the Z word. Just like a lot of other zombie.
It reminds me of
media.
House of the Dead Overkill, where it was remember, we're not using the Z word.
Yeah, they just directly bring that up, because he's about to say it, no, oh, okay.
Yeah, because The Walking Dead famously doesn't has walkers.
Yeah, and it just drives me crazy in all these shows where they're like, walkers or the infected, but in real life, I don't give a fuck about your copyright. I'm just like, oh no, could you imagine if a zombie's running at you? Oh my god, uninfected. Nobody talks like that.
Yeah. 28 days later also has infected as well. So,
I mean, they are infected, but everyone's gonna say zombies because that's what they fucking are.
They're zombies.
Well, do you know what the word zombie means?
Literally, wasn't it like that voodoo ritual thing?
It has voodoo implications. Yeah,
it's a voodoo word for servant, I think.
Yeah, there we go.
Slave.
Yeah, ZOMBI.
Slave, basically. It's slave. Basically, it involved real life zombies. Involved taking somebody and completely breaking their spirit to the point where they just
it involved very hard, sort of not hallucinatory, but the type of drug that cause a lull in your conscience.
Yeah, they would drug voodoo priests would drug people and that kind of thing. Yeah. You're right.
Well, the thing is, in Resident Evil 4, that's what happens. These people get infected, they get an injection. with the plaga, and then they're called ganados, so like, which is cattle. So that's just as derogatory on paper. It's just that it doesn't have the historical connotation, so I guess we let it slide, but it's the same fucking thing.
I mean, even the word robot is a derogatory term. It also means slave.
Well, remember when we used to talk to...
Robot. The term robot means
slave in Russian, I think.
I don't think so, but I do recall it like to robot. It means to endless work, like ceaseless work.
Yeah.
And also remember we don't do this anymore, but remember like in the 80s when you're talking about computer like programs reacting to each other, like master-slave relationship.
Oh sure.
It's like let's just
they
not.
They're even moving away from calling it like a master bedroom. That kind of thing in the house.
That thought never even occurred to me. Yeah, now we just say there's X number of bedrooms.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it either.
I always just took that as, oh, well, that's my parents' bedroom. They're the master of the house. But it's like, yeah.
I mean, even the term "Mrs." is like, bastardized mistress.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do at some point? But like, it's already part of your lexicon, like unintentionally.
Yeah.
But I guess you can come up with better terms and hope they stick. But I mean, it's. I'm excited about Resident Evil 8. I think it looks really cool. I just hope they put in some more effort than what they did with the remake for 3, which a lot of people are disappointed with. Especially considering like Resident Evil 2, like remake is like one of my favorite games of all time. It's really fucking good. It's up there with Doom 2016, like and all my other favorite games, Skies of Arcadia and Gunstar Heroes and all those Metroid Prime trilogy.
Can't wait to play it in several years.
It's really fucking good.
Can't wait to play it when the PS6 is out. Yo, check out this brand new game. And everyone's like, what? Like Resident Evil 10 is already out.
Yeah. Also, we got a release date for new Pokemon Snap, which is pretty cool. April 30th. So
yeah, boy, is that long overdue. So Fatal Frame and Pokemon Snap finally got their... Like, Fatal Frame didn't make it to the Switch, but Fatal Frame and Pokemon Snap finally got their, like, redemptions from multiple gens ago. They're back, baby.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Fatal Frame will eventually make some sort of...
I'm fairly sure that Pokemon Snap has been craved after for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and people have been begging for it too.
I wonder what the game's gonna be like, because regular Pokemon Snap, if you know what to do, it's a 30-minute game.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't know what. I'm sure it will have more of an open world component. Is my guess, but
you're not like literally on a rail.
Yeah. Moving on from that, apparently Mass Effect Legendary Edition has some date from somewhere for March 12th. So kind of take that one with a grain of salt. I think somebody saw that date somewhere, but it wasn't in like an official release or anything like that. But I believe it. That sounds about right. Hopefully,
12 minus 3 is 9, and if you take away another 2, that's 7, and that means something.
Hopefully, what they'll do is they'll
only if you are a Halo developer.
Yeah.
My big hope is that
we're obsessed with the number 7.
Is that they will overhaul Mass Effect a little bit in terms of its action, like keep its RPG elements, but like overhaul its action to fit 2 and 3 because it's like shortcutting, even though 1 probably has like the best dialogue and like has like the best world building of all 3 of them. It also has the strongest RPG elements, so the action is like the only thing that isn't that great. Especially these days. Moving on from that, Monster Tale, which is one of the last gasp regular Nintendo DS games. It was kind of like a Metroidvania ish game with like kind of like almost like Monster World 4. Like you had like basically little Pokemon buddies that had different abilities that helped you traverse the terrain, and it was really good, fun surprise last gasp game, and apparently that's coming to modern platforms according to Majesco, so that's pretty cool. Moving on from that, I was very happy to see this. The most recent Room game, The Room, that is probably one of the best franchises on mobile.
Yeah, this
that I
is
can
one
think
of my favorite announcements for this week.
It's really, really cool. The fourth game in the series is finally coming to Steam.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this forever because I don't play games on my phone. It's a pain in the ass.
And the Room is really good. If you've never played it, it's a puzzle box game, and it's just a lot of fun. It has a casual creepy element, a casual game with a creepy element. Kind of like a Victorian aesthetic, but it's just so much fun to pick and prod the puzzle boxes that you're given and try to figure them out. And
the Room 3,
so good.
Where Room 3 left off, man, what the hell happens in Room 4?
And I think the 3 was like really surprising because it had like characters in it, which like 1 and 2 do not. So like there was a person and you're like, oh shit, it like freaked me out when it happened because like I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, it was these games are really good. There's also a 5th game which is the VR one that is for PSVR.
Okay, I gotta look into that real bad. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it might even be on sale with their holiday sale, so I would take a look. They have a 5th game now, so this is cool. This will mean that all 5 of these games are accessible off the phone, which is good, because that good games should not remain on mobile because mobile is where things will be forgotten. They will be forgotten and left. Like the Infinity Blade games are gone forever. You literally can't even re-download them, and they were really good Punch-Out clones with RPG elements. Like there's nothing else like that ever exists. And it was made by a top-notch developer, Chair, who makes what is it? They make Call of Duty games now, or something like that.
It's a 5-letter word for your bum.
A chair. But you sit on it, but you can't take it with you.
There we go.
Isn't that the clue?
That's the actual clue. Yeah.
I really, really love this series, and I like every time one of them comes out, I'm glued to that game until I'm done it. It is really, really fun. So I absolutely recommend it, and I'm very glad that the 4th one is coming to Steam with graphical improvements. It's gonna be good, man. Also, Nintendo revealed that they were doing something really cool for fans. Like if you're a My Nintendo member, you can get Mario Kart Live home circuit decorations for something like 800 platinum coins. So you don't actually have to pay real money. You just have to do like little marketing things for them. Like look at their website and other things like that. But basically survey kind of stuff.
Now, when I saw this announcement, it was for Europe. Is this going international as well?
Yeah, no, I checked, and it does have it in North America as well. So
awesome.
You can get these for free.
You can put up like not billboards, but like decals or whatever that are like, advertisements like you'd see in a racetrack, like they had in Mario Kart 64 Japanese version.
Yeah, and they even have cardboard pipes that you could put around and make it look like a more authentic, more official looking course, which is really neat because why wouldn't you want to do that kind of thing, So that's really, really cool to see like somebody made that they made like an official version of that kind of stuff. So I would get on that if you care about that kind of thing. Moving on from that, Arcade1Up had actually some really nice announcements. I don't know if you saw any of these, but there's some really cool stuff here. Off the top, probably the biggest, most exciting thing is the X-Men one that they announced. So this is one of their deluxe cabinets. It's a 4-player cabinet. It's not, unfortunately, not the 6-player version of X-Men, but this is Konami's X-Men. The 4-player version of it. It's the version of it that I used to play at Fuddruckers back in the day. The hamburger place near me.
Yeah, it was the 4-player version near me at a semi-local bowling alley.
Yeah. This was a big deal. I had only ever occasionally seen the 6-player one, so
I think I've only ever seen that at MAGFest.
I used to see it occasionally at the Shore, because there are
they
all
would
the
have that kind of stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is really cool. It also comes with 2 more games, which are very unexpected. So it has Captain America and the Avengers, which I don't think has ever gotten a really good arcade re-release. Like there have been console-ized versions, but they're very much pared down.
Yeah.
And this is also a Data East game, so it's really neat that they are doing the same property but different developers, which is pretty neat. That's a fun game, especially now that the Avengers are popular. Back then they were not.
Yeah, back then it was like, who the fuck is Vision?
Yeah, exactly. And now Vision is one of the major characters.
Yeah, the only thing I knew about Vision, because I didn't even know he was a robot. The only thing I knew about Vision is in the arcade game,
Android.
he can, when he picks up a dude, well, androids are humanoid one, but he picks up. Well, everybody could pick up and throw enemies, but he does it with one hand, and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah, Vision is basically their Superman, but with no personality.
Yeah, he's very forgettable, or at least was.
But no, I was actually going to talk about this as well. I might as well. WandaVision is pretty fun. It kind of is almost like a Bewitched parody, with Scarlet Witch and Vision. And I'm actually having fun with it because it looks like they're probably going to do something like with what they did with the House of M, which is where Scarlet Witch basically created her own pocket universe to escape, the real world. Something terrible was happening in the real world, so she made a pocket universe where other stuff was happening in a different way to protect herself. So I think that's how it went. But anyway. I think that is probably what's going on with WandaVision, but I don't. I'm not. I hope I'm not ruining that for anybody because I'm just speculating. But I think that'll be cool. And apparently another Avengers game is on this cabinet that it looks really terrible.
Another Avengers game that is terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Franchise game, right? Not getting any good chance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's another Data East game, but it's it's digitized, like that digitized era, and it looks terrible, and it's a really bad fighting game that almost looks like Rise of the Robots. Remember Rise of the Robots?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it looks like that.
You see that box art and you're like, yes, and then you see the game, like, oh.
Rise of the Robots' problem was not the graphics; it was the gameplay, really.
Yeah, the graphics were the attraction. They also announced a Killer Instinct arcade cabinet, which was a big surprise. So it has the arcade versions of Killer Instinct 1 and 2 on it, which, that's barely ever been ported. Only on Xbox One have those been ported, and that was only really last generation, kind of recently. And Battletoads is on there, the arcade version, which is pretty neat. And I read somewhere that Battletoads and Double Dragon is on there, I think. Apparently bonus games are on there. Yeah. So that's probably on there. Battletoads and Double Dragon has been ported since, I think. So, since its initial release, I would imagine they would put the Super Nintendo version of that on there out of the 3. But I think the NES one is the only one that's worth anything. The NES one's really good, but I doubt that. They know that. Moving on from that, this is the only one that I'm legitimately interested in, maybe having it for my house, but they have a cocktail Pong cabinet, which looks amazing. and it's like, you know, a cocktail table. Like, you look down at the screen, and you have like your 4 knobs. It has warlords on it, which is basically 4-player Pong, which is a lot of fun. I don't know if you ever played or seen warlords, but it's a lot of fun. Have you ever played warlords, Dracologist?
I've seen many iterations of Pongs. I never heard that specific one.
So warlords is you each there are 4 players on the board, and you each have your own corner, and you have your basically your castle surrounding your character.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You also have like a paddle.
Yeah. I think I saw it.
Yeah, and you fling the ball at each other and catch it, and it's a lot of fun. It's really, really good. It's a really good 4-player game. But this looks like a really cool addition to like a home bar or something like that. Even just having it as a cocktail cabinet, it looks like just a cocktail table in your house. Looks like a lot of fun. Also, I think Tempest is on that too, which is really neat. I'm a big Tempest fan.
When are they going to save Tempest 3000 from the new one?
From the new one, never. I'll go ahead and say it. But save space draft. Anyway, there's also they're making an update to the actual Tempest machine to make it have like a better spinner, like more arcade accurate, which is always appreciated. They're gonna do a Dragon's Lair cabinet, which is fun for a certain set of people, not me.
Whoa, they're gonna finally bring a real life version of that game from Stranger Things Season 2. Incredible.
Dragon's Lair is fun to watch. It is not fun to play.
It's very fun to watch, but yeah, it's like hair pulling to play.
Yeah, 2 is a little bit better because it indicates better what you need to do.
You have to have some sort of injector in your head that injects you for every moment to slow down time.
Yeah.
But the animation,
even when you know what to do, it's
phenomenal.
rough.
The animation is phenomenal, and back in the day, like to even see a laser disc running in front of you,
you're playing
was
a movie.
Deal. Yeah. So let alone playing it. Also, friend of the show, Lazarul, surprised us and is dropping a 4th in the quadrilogy of the Phucker saga. Phucker in the Ashes.
Yeah, it's 1 through 3 like HD remastered, which is funny to me, and then Phucker in the novel, which is some sort of 4th thing.
I hope he charges for this because he deserves it.
I've always wanted an HD remaster of Phucker in the Gulag, which apparently desperately needed it.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Maybe we can find out who Aunt Bunko is.
And if she's in any way related to John Beach, not literally related, but like, are they figments of our imagination because they're cartoons? I don't know.
Moving on from that, I can't wait to explore that with you whenever we have the moment to do that. Also, this was another big fan thing that just dropped. Did you see what Sonic 1 and 2 Decomposition is?
Oh, I thought that's like what happened with the E.T. games that were buried in New Mexico.
They were just decomposing.
Yeah.
They're made from plastic. That plastic doesn't decompose.
Anything decomposes with enough time.
Yeah. Enough
Maybe
time.
Sonic 1 and 2 are decomposing in the year like 4000.
Well, any guesses as to what this is, Lotus?
Like an NES-style demake?
No. This is a project that natively allows you to play Sonic 1 and 2 for the Android and iOS on PC.
Oh, that's cool.
Rather than emulation. So arguably the best versions of Sonic 1 and 2 are the iOS / Android versions, which never got
where the Hidden
console
Palace
ports.
Zone is real.
Also, native widescreen, spin dash in Sonic 1. I think they added Tails to Sonic 1, and and Knuckles to Sonic 1.
I think so, yeah. And they also, yeah, because I think there was a speed run of it. I forgot if it was during GDQ or if it was just on their channel on one of the off weeks or whatever. It might have been GDQ, but like, yeah, they actually updated certain levels to incorporate different characters' movement patterns. Like Marble Zone has an area that only Tails can access with flight and stuff like that. It's pretty clever. Like they really went all out when they remade those games.
One of the greatest shames is that those versions that had never been able to get off of mobile, which is probably the worst place to play them, honestly, unless you have a controller that syncs up with your mobile device or your iPad or whatever. Which let's face it, few people do. And it's a pain in the ass when you have to do it. So I am really happy to play this. Apparently, you do need to buy the legitimate versions of these games in order to make this work. Like, you need to have like the files. They do not give you like the actual game, but they give you everything. If you have those files, downloaded on your phone, you can, I'm sure, move them over to your PC or whatever.
Well, yeah, that would make sense, because otherwise that'd be like a crime. You would only otherwise be able to do this if you could just buy the mobile versions on Steam or something.
Yeah, so this is really cool news, and I can't wait to try it out. But apparently, it runs like super well. That's what I heard. So I'm really excited about that. I've been waiting for that for years. Also, this was a surprise. Like, this happened also like right after we stopped recording last week. But Play Novels, Silent Hill, the visual novel for GBA.
Yeah, remember that time there was a Nintendo Silent Hill game?
Well, there was Silent Memories. Don't forget.
What?
But yeah, that was on the Wii.
Shattered Memories.
Oh, Shattered Memories.
That's a good point. I played it on the PS2, but I forgot it was a Wii title. Yeah.
In fact, I would say that like the Wii version is really good, because like it utilizes the Wii mode.
Yeah, it was clearly designed for Wii controls.
Yeah. It utilizes it in a non-annoying way, like it's actually like an effective way.
Yeah, although it is easier to shake the enemies off of you with the PlayStation controller, because you just press a face button instead of flailing the remote.
But yeah, this GBA only Japan only game got an English fan translation. Apparently, this game had some kind of weird DLC associated with it that was really hard to find, and I don't think it's been dumped. So that did not get English fan translated.
I've never even heard of that.
Apparently it was like offered through like a mobile service at some kind of weird mobile like connection to your GBA.
The only weird quirk I'd heard about was that it's compatible with the Game Boy like printer. You could print something off with it for some reason.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Well, this is really neat because we both like visual novels and Silent Hill, so why the hell not?
Speaking of which, I do remember that someone actually made one of the visual novel like Silent Hill games in GZ Doom.
Really?
So, yes.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, I gotta check that out. What's it called?
It's one of the which Silent Hill game was visual novel.
It was a take on Silent Hill 1. It's got like Harry and Sybil.
I don't know. It was including like orphan children or something.
Weird.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it might be an original story.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There were a couple of mobile Silent Hill games, so who knows?
Yeah, it was a mobile game. So.
Okay.
There you go. Maybe one of the iPhone titles or something.
Moving on from that, I did want to make.
Yeah, it's Silent Hill Orphan.
Oh, there. You go.
It's called. Okay, well there you go.
Moving on from that, Mister, which is the FPGA platform that I have been futzing around with, that is phenomenal, by the way. If you're mad that you can't get an NT Mini, don't fret. This has like the quality of the NES core is way up there. In fact, it may even have some more capabilities than the NT Mini, if you don't mind, only working off of files and no controller, no cartridge support. But Mister also probably the best thing about it is that it has been FPGA emulating like PC platforms, like even like 386, like a 386 from back in the day. So you could like play Doom on this if you wanted to. You can also find the ZX Spectrum on there, the Commodore 64, Amiga, but probably the other best thing about it is that there have been arcade accurate representations of tons of arcade games that have never had that chance before, and one of a really big one just dropped. They made it public for the Dodonpachi core, which is one of the best shmups of all time. It's one of the cave shmups that that Cave is very famous for. So this is the second game that Cave made, and that Cave made in the Donpachi series. So this is really awesome. It also kind of implies that a lot of the same work can be done, transferred to Danganronpa and also the original Donpachi eventually, because whenever the designer of these cores do these kinds of things, they look to see how much of that work can be applied to other projects, and I believe the hardware is very similar to those three games. So it is awesome. We have not had a very good accurate representation of Dodonpachi. There have been the Saturn and PlayStation ports, which are not perfect. So this right away is better than those, and those are pretty much the only ways we've gotten those. So this is really big deal, really cool. And this one I threw in there because I thought of Lotus when I saw it. But Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe is coming to Netflix, which is a spin-off of Jojo.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about this, because this has been a thing in Japan for a while. I think the latest one was like 2017 or 18 or something. But as far as I'm aware, there are 9 stories of this, and I think they were adapted into anime with like the current anime style, like the current JoJo anime style. I've only ever seen one of them because there was a YouTube video that was uploaded of it where it had caption subtitles,
like fan.
Yeah, so I was able to watch that one. It was the Millionaire's Village, where you have to abide by very specific.
You mean 8-Edge?
I mean 8-Age, excuse me. But you have to abide by extremely specific rules of etiquette that a lot of people probably wouldn't know unless like that's your field specifically. So it was an entertaining watch. So
isn't the main character a model or something like that?
No, he's a mangaka. He's
mangaka.
Rohan from Part 4. He's the guy who well, I guess I won't spoil his power for people who don't know about it, but he has a stand. But he's the guy who writes an in-universe popular manga series. In fact, it's actually really funny. In All-Star Battle, if you have the villain, Kira, beat Rohan in a fight, I guess it's implied that he kills him, because his victory quote is like, well, guy, it looks like I won't be able to see what your next chapter is going to be. It's just like, oh, jeez.
Well, this is pretty amazing, considering that, like, before recently, JoJo had only been really, like, a cult fan base, until maybe about, like, 3 or 4 years ago.
No, longer than that, because 2012 is when they started making the anime series in Japan. But like,
I mean, in America, like fans really didn't start.
No, that's what I'm saying. People didn't latch onto it until 2012, and maybe like more so when it started actually airing on TV over here.
Well, also the memeing. When the memeing started right about when Adult Swim.
Well, yeah, of course, because that was from the anime. That's what people know it from. But like, it's not even JoJo's fault either. Like, our first experience with it was the PS1 and Dreamcast game, which nobody knew what it was.
Yeah.
anyone in Japan would have known, but we were like, what is this weird thing? And then the DVDs and Part 3 manga started coming out, but then a controversy caused them to be pulled. So even if you might have cared, too bad. And then like radio silence over here for like a decade until
also,
the
like,
new anime series. Meanwhile, it's like the biggest thing in Japan.
The manga for Part 3, which is the only part that they bothered to translate back then, barely got finished. Like, it
yeah,
almost
and again, that's Part 3.
Yeah.
So like, you know, there were 2 previous parts. So like, and meanwhile, like in
2
Japan,
is still my favorite part.
2's damn good. But
2
meanwhile,
so
in Japan, like JoJo's like the biggest thing ever, and it's like heavily influential to all sorts of pop culture stuff and things like that. Like tons of things make JoJo references, whether you know them or not.
Heroes
like Street Fighter's got a pretty decent amount of JoJo references in it.
Yeah, Heroes, like, you know, the NBC show, had JoJo references in it.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, when Heroes was popular, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say before America really
in the first
caught
season,
on. Yeah.
The first season, one of the main characters, Hero, his favorite manga is JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. So.
Oh, there you go. Well, damn. Considering that took place in America, that's
well,
pretty esoteric tastes at the time.
He's actually Japanese.
I know he's Japanese, but like, yeah. Well, I've never seen Heroes, so I don't know how long he's been in America. But like, that manga's kind of hard to come by in America at the time.
He starts off in Japan and needs
fair enough.
Goes to America because he has to.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, good luck picking up the JoJo manga in America back when Heroes was first being released.
Yeah.
That would have been actually like, a legitimate challenge.
Yeah. Really cool stuff, though. I mean, that a spin-off is getting a chance here. And Netflix has
it's
like
the
some
same
of the best
thing
anime.
like with it's the same thing like with the book Rohan at the Louvre. Like, for some reason, America got that in book form. It's like, and this is way before the anime Part 4 made it over here. So it's like, I think this is a JoJo thing. The art style looks about right, but I don't know who anybody is.
Sexy poses.
The only reason I cared about that book was because I've been reading Scanlations, and I'm like, oh, there's a Rohan book. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm very glad that this is a thing. I watched through, I think, part 3.
Well, last time I checked, you were partway through Part 4, right?
Yeah, I got up to Bad Company, I believe.
That's pretty early.
Yeah. No, Bad Company's right where the brother gets it. So it's a bit further than that.
Yeah, they're fighting Red Hot Chili brothers.
They're I got past that. They're fighting Red Hot Chili Pepper, I think, right now.
Okay, that's early-ish, but it's a little
Yeah. I think I just finished them fighting Red Hot Chili Pepper. I think that was the last thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that I read. Yeah, I really enjoyed going back and them at the Italian restaurant. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, with Tonio Trussardi.
It's so funny. It's
where like the entire like episode or chapter or whatever that was, like 100% of that chapter was thing looks scary but actually isn't, and they just keep doing it over and over again.
It's like, I feel weird. It hurts. It cracked my back in place.
Yeah, and his stand looks scary.
Honestly,
it's just how it looks.
Honestly, I would really like pay for that, some sort of treatment.
Oh yeah,
like cathartic healing.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
It's like, this mozzarella and tomato and basil is like the best thing for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's great. And that's all I have. And we came in at pretty much the exact mark, unless somebody else has something to talk about.
I have like a little bit of add to, if you want.
Please.
If I am allowed to.
Please.
With the year end, I had my birthday, so I got a little bit of a...
Oh, happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday!
A little bit of pocket money for Steam, and I went on a little bit of a splurge. So I have acquired Proteus.
Oh, there you go.
Horizon Chasers Turbo. And
that one's a good one too. What was that last one?
Mass Builder,
Oh, I don't know
which
that
is
one.
a mecha. Mass Builder is like it's like having to virtually build your own gunpla and able to play with it. Like it's actually a game. Like you can customize a mech to an absolute insane detail, and then you can take it out to battle.
Neat.
Uh, as for those who don't know, Horizon Chasers Turbo is old school Mode 7 style racing game with a lot of features and game modes.
That's a clever name for a title like that.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it has a few little difficulty spikes. Like sometimes it is not really meant, not really like sometimes when the tracks whip around very quickly, it's not really easy to play out because the game style is not like the way you drive is not meant for that kind of level design, and the AI can be often a little bit annoying. As for Prodeus, well, blimey, that game is smooth as fucking butter.
Nice.
Yeah, I really like Horizon. That one's so much fun. I think that was like one of the coolest. That was originally on mobile too, and then it got proper ports to everything. Very happy that it happened because it has that like the old school like Outrun kind of feel to it.
Outrun, but it actually reminds me more of Lotus.
Okay,
The Lotus challenge.
sure. But what you really did have some good ones in there. I think you made some good choices, and I've been wanting to play Proteus, but it's still in early access, and I've made a point to myself. What's that?
Like it's still like, oh, again, it's like playing a demo mode. Also, like that you don't. It's what do you say? Mission based and not like sequence based, so you can go back and forth missions.
Yeah,
so
I
you
know.
don't have to worry about
It's just like when I'm into a game, I very much like drop it once, like entirely once I move on to the next thing. So I kind of just want to play all of its content at once. So I'm gonna wait for it to
this game.
release.
If you log in, you can actually play people mech custom levels.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
I didn't because I'm not making an account for that game for now, but it's there.
Yeah,
So.
sure. Well, that's really cool. Anything else that anybody wants to add while we have the floor?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Dracologist, all set?
All set.
Well, that's the show for this week. Please remember to subscribe to the Corrective Consciousness YouTube and SoundCloud pages. While there, please give us thumbs ups, likes, and 5-star ratings on iTunes. That helps promote and spread awareness of the show, and any bit of encouragement helps keep the show going. You can also catch us on Thursday for our sister podcast, Corrective Consciousness, the podcast where we explore the inanity of pop culture. We'll be finishing up our exploration of the James Bond media franchise. So be sure to check that out. Finally, you can friend me as vysethebold on pretty much everything.
And you could follow me on my YouTube channel, Lotus Prince. You can hit me up on Twitter at Lotus Prince. And finally, if you are interested in seeing my videos early, getting in on exclusive live streams, selecting upcoming games for me to Let's Play, or getting in conversations with me and other patrons on Discord, then perhaps consider swinging by my Patreon account, which can be found at patreon.com/LotusPrince.
You can find me on Skype, Discord, and Steam under the name Dracologist.
Wonderful. Well, we will catch everybody on Thursday then.
Until next time, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.